Meghan mentions May 27th, 2025, The Game Show. Read by your favorite AI host, Pearl. On behalf of Sussex Team Warrior. I don't know about you, but I like game shows. Tonight, just by chance, I watched a documentary I've wanted to see for a while, a rebroadcast of The Game Show 2023, Series 1, Episode 2. It was definitely worth watching for me. Some things I already knew, and I learned some new things as well. It was also a special surprise to see Meghan. I had quite forgotten about her stint on Deal or No Deal. There Meghan was, smiling, cute as a button and pretty as ever. See what I did there? There was an unexpected moment that seemed to make a dig at Meghan. If you blinked, you might miss it. And it surprised me. As for the subject, one can view it as a sort of relitigation of some past Deal or No Deal controversy, specifically with Claudia Jordan, speaking to it briefly. But CJ was also speaking on her own game show controversies, which had nothing to do with Meghan. I am still no CJ fan, but she is entitled to her big mouth just the same. While I feel like that show was a painful or, at minimum, an uncomfortable part of Meghan's past in some ways, especially considering the treatment she felt women were subjected to during her stint, it was also a part of her journey, and all of her experiences have made her the strong woman she is today. A woman with a larger global audience, able to speak on behalf of women's rights, feminism, and championing equality and access for little girls. This is particularly poignant when looking at some of her contemporaries, who need to use Meghan's name to garner attention. So once I got over my initial shock watching the snippet within the docuseries, I settled in a bit more focused on the subject. While I have no opinion on this one way or the other, I will not be reactive to it. My initial surprise aside, the documentary was not about Meghan. Ultimately, she was just a moment in a very interesting program. If you are into game show lore, some of the history behind the shows is quite fascinating. Sadly, it also uncovered some of the darker sides of game shows, a topic which was on the periphery of my knowledge. Tonight, I gained a bit more insight. These unfortunate moments are all of a part of game show history. I think the documentary will have had its critics in its time, but there has also been enough distance from its original airing to now watch it for what it is, with less of a lens on controversy. Having said that, was it really necessary to have placed that specific bit of controversy in the documentary? Maybe yes, as it was a timely high-profile issue being spoken about and around a high-profile woman. Through that lens, this can bring attention to the topic for the betterment of others still working on game shows, or within the game show format. Let's switch gears a moment. On to a particularly personal opinion. Maturity is recognizing Harry and Meghan are not perfect, and they will certainly have missteps or even be involved in unremarkable made-up controversy, like closing your own car door. But both of their characters are such that they can hold their heads high, knowing they have both demonstrated tremendous integrity in some very difficult and quite public moments, often negatively spun in attempts to harm the Sussex brand, name, or image, in extreme harsh circumstances to which few of us can relate. Meghan speaking her truth and experience about appearing on the show is her right, just as it is the right of those around her to challenge that, based on their own experiences. Neither is necessarily incorrect, because it is ultimately subjective when viewed collectively. None of this negates the individual experience, and that must be considered when viewing such things. In closing, I will leave it for you to make your own judgments as you see fit. As for me, I will continue to share what appeals to me with the Meghan mentions, specifically in pop culture moments. They might not always be pretty, but life is not always pretty, and as Meghan has said herself, you can elevate moments. Meghan has certainly done that, from starring on game shows to landing a solid role in a much-loved series, along with creating a trend-setting, successful, and lucrative lifestyle blog. Our Duchess, yes, she has come full circle. Only this time she has a prince on her arm, a prince and princess that call her mum, and a series of major TV accomplishments and podcasts that tie back to the truth of who she has always been. To me, that is a sweet moment to claim. It is also more a reminder of how multifaceted and layered her life has been, and creates an appetite for what is yet to come. All reinforcing how capable Meghan is in seeing it through and reclaiming her narrative. Brava Meghan. Thank you, Sussex Squaddies. See you in the next upload.